Hello and welcome to Up to Speed. Yesterday, Sony updated their smaller professional cameras with the new A6500 and RX100 Mark V. And they are ridiculously powerful for such small cameras. So let's take a look at the tiny RX100 Mark V first. One way of thinking about this camera, just like its previous versions, is as pretty much the best point-and-shoot camera available. It has a 1-inch size sensor inside, which is huge for a camera this small, and a built-in 24-70 equivalent f1.8 to f2.8 lens, just like its predecessor did. So, what's new? Well, Sony have added fast phase detection autofocus, meaning this could well be the fastest focusing compact camera in the world. This autofocus does work in video as well, which is a great thing. There's also an improvement in slow motion. The RX100 Mark V can record 240 frames a second in full HD for a 3-second burst, or a 6-second burst if you're okay with lower quality. The Mark IV, for comparison, could do the same frame rates, but in a 2-second burst or a 4-second burst in lower quality. This might not seem like much of an improvement, but when you're dealing with such small amounts of time and slow motion, an extra second can make a huge amount of difference. This slow motion is recorded with an end trigger, which can be a bit hard to get used to, but once you do, it means that it's much easier to make sure that you make the most of your 3 seconds of recording. Slow motion can go up to 960 frames a second on both of the new cameras, but to be honest, the quality drops so much I wouldn't consider using it past 240 personally, although it's certainly a nice feature to have. It's worth mentioning that there is also a new waterproof housing from Sony, which will fit this and the older RX100 versions as well. So that was the RX100 Mark V, so now let's take a look at the A6500. The previous A6300 was a very popular camera for video shooters, and for good reason. It was great 4K video in a tiny package for a good price. It had some compromises, but you can't really expect otherwise considering the size and the price. The biggest compromise though, in my opinion, was the rolling shutter, and that's what I'm hoping that the new A6500 will have improved upon. The two new features that really caught my eye were the internal 5-axis image stabilization and the faster processor, mainly because they should really help with that rolling shutter. A faster processor hopefully means a faster sensor readout, which will mean less rolling shutter in the first place. And then a stabilized sensor will mean that you don't notice nearly as much rolling shutter anyway. Having a 5-axis stabilized sensor in a camera this small is crazy. Sony really are narrowing the gap between this and their full-frame A7 cameras, meaning this is definitely a viable choice if you want that smaller APS-C-sized sensor. The other big addition that Sony have made is giving the camera a touchscreen, which can be used to control the autofocus. This is such a useful feature. We've seen this on Canon's recent cameras, and it makes controlling the autofocus really easy and simple to use. Plus, it can be used at the same time as the EVF, so you can still use the touchscreen to control your autofocus when you're outside, which is very nice. So these are two great portable cameras from Sony with features that are easily good enough for most professionals, and they're both up to pre-order on our site. But what do you think of them? Which would you rather own, the A6500 or the RX100 Mark V? Let me know in the comment section below, and make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help us out. Thanks for watching and for supporting us, and I'll see you in the next video.